What would you say if I told you that I made a beat with one synthesizer? And what if I told you that that one synthesizer was actually an iPad app? And what if I told you that not only was that synthesizer an iPad app, but it was also specifically a bass synthesizer? Would you believe me? Well, I did just that. You want a hint? It's a bad man thing. We call ourselves Beat Brothers, hope, peace, and dope beats. That's what we're all about. And today, let's get into this beat that I made in Agonizer. That's right, Agonizer. That's the app. This app is so cool. Found out about this, right when it came out. Jakob came out with this awesome app, synth app, a bass synth called Agonizer, and it was with Aras, who's also made a few other really cool synths on iOS. And this app, when it came out, I was like, this is my jam, because like I'm into all kinds of different music. I really come from like that boom bap era, the 90s hip hop era, and that's what I like to make, but I also like to experiment a lot, and I like all kinds of different music. I like things that are kind of in the EDM dubstep realm, but I like that neuro bass, like crazy bass sounds and stuff like that. That kind of digs into my 90s hip hop roots. But also just I get into all kinds of different music. This app, when it came along, I was like, yes, this is awesome. I love Jakob. I love his videos. Like, I've been really digging into his stuff now that I have the iPad and I can make beats on my iPad. Really into making beats on iOS, and my iPhone too sometimes. There's some other apps that we're going to get into that I really love too. And so what I did was I'm like, I just want to see, can I make like one full track, like can I make a beat fully 100% with only Agonizer when it first came out?
Correction, I also used Cubasis to arrange the sounds, but all the sounds were made with Agonizer.
And I probably made this like the day after, if not 2 days after this this app actually came out. And it's not too expensive if you guys want to check it out. But you'll see there's some really cool things you can use if you're just into doing the boom bap stuff. Like there's definitely some stuff in here because we like bass. I don't know, about you, but I love me some bass and hip hop tracks. And there's some really cool things you can do. So basically what I did to start off was the one thing that I didn't really know if I could pull off in this synth was drums. But the thing is with synthesizers, you can do like so many things. You can make drums and synthesizers. You use noise and stuff, and you work with the attack and the transients. That's a word I just learned recently. But what it is good for is the kicks. The kicks are nuts on this thing. On Agonizer, the kicks, you can do some cool things. And Jakob already put some really cool presets in there, but I also like to mess with stuff myself. So you'll see some of the stuff I used. The kicks, and then of course the 808s, and then combining that with like some sub bass and just some bass sounds and stuff like this thing, you're going to see it does some pretty cool stuff. So let's check out what I did with the drums. Like I said, typically I probably would use different snares and different hi-hats because that's just the way I roll. But other than that, the kicks sound really dope, and some of the other things I did sound really dope. So check out what I did for the drums. So we did the drums. Now, next after that, what I wanted to do was kind of create a little bit of a base layer, something to like kind of lay the bed, the foundation of what the song would be. So I kind of like what you would think of maybe as a rhythm guitar or just like a main melody or something. So what I kind of did was I did that. I kind of laid down like a bass line that's very simple, and you'll see that I kind of transposed it up. I did it one kind of octave for a while, and then I kind of transposed it up, and I kind of kept going back and forth throughout the track a little bit. And then I put this other like more I don't know, strummy, dubsteppy type of sound kind of on top of it and went along with it, that kind of just gave it more character and everything. So check out what I did with that. So we laid the foundation, and next I wanted to go in with like some kind of leading, edgy, powerful sounds, stuff you would really hear in something like, maybe Skrillex or just any other like really hard hitting dubstep track. Again, I'm not really necessarily a super fan of Skrillex. He's dope, for sure. But I like to get into stuff that's kind of a little more of a fusion of kind of that EDM neuro based stuff mixed with hip hop. And there's some really cool people out there who are doing stuff like that. I also like glitchy stuff. But anyways, so the next thing I did was I'm trying to find like some cool lead sounds to kind of play around with that, what I already laid down as the bed, and kind of go back and forth. And there's definitely like going to be like this kind of call and response thing when you hear the actual beat finished. Here, you can hear them here. So there you go. There's the lead sounds. I think they had a cool texture, and they definitely add something to the beat. So next, we're pretty much close to done. Like, this is me trying to make a track, experimenting, having fun, playing around. Not necessarily making a fully polished like track, but something that, I just wanted to see what I could do, with this new app I just came across. So the next thing I did was I just wanted to add a little interest to the, to kind of like the beginning. And, there was this cool sound that Jakob put as a preset, and so I used that, and it's kind of like this heart. I think he even called it like heart throb or heart pump or something. I forget. Heartbeat probably was what it really was called. And it's just kind of a basic heartbeat type of sound, a thump thump type thing. But I beefed it up just a little bit to kind of add just a little bit more to it. Within the context of the track, it sounds better, so that's kind of why I did that. And a lot of these sounds, some of them I did create some stuff myself, and I don't remember if I used stuff that I wholly created, but a lot of this stuff is modified from what Jakob did. So he really puts in a lot of cool presets that you can build off of, and I like to do that. I like to turn the knobs and change things and build off of that. And I also like to create my own. So he definitely gives you the tools to do that. Some people just like to use the presets, and if that's what you like, he put a ton of cool stuff in there just for that too. So definitely worth it, whichever way you approach it. So here's the kind of heartbeat sound thing I put in for the intro. So it seems like we got like a cool little intro going, and there's another sound that's kind of over the top. I didn't really show it, but I it's not that big a deal. But it's kind of like this cool like staticky thing. It's actually one of the other sounds, I think, but it kind of adds something to the thumping. So you'll hear it when we hear the full track in the intro. Now, I'm probably gonna lose a lot of cool points with this little part, but I added another final finishing touch, and I couldn't help myself. I'm sorry.
Bad man. Ting!
I don't know. I mean, I think it's kind of cool. But, you know, I don't know if my definition of cool is everybody else's definition of cool. You know, if cool is spelled Geek, then we're right there, you know. So yeah, I don't know. I think it was kind of a fun touch, and you'll see how it sounds within the context of the beat. Here we go. Do you want to hear the beat? It's got a lot of cool sounds. It's got a lot of cool ingredients. Let's see how this beat came together.
Bad man. Ting!
Is a pretty freaking cool app. I mean, you can't get around it. Like, if you're into creating something with cool, crazy bass, I mean, the bass lines you can do with this, I mean, there's videos that talk about all the cool things you can do with this, with the wob, wob, wob. And all the cool sounds and the grittiness you can get. You can mangle it, you can set the drive up, the crush up, the push up, everything. You can do push-ups with this app. You can do push-ups. So yeah, I mean, this thing is cool. Like, I think you can make some really cool stuff. At the very least, if you're a hip-hop person, it's got some dope bass you can create, and you can create some cool kick drums and some 808s, and you know, you'll be good to go. Throw that into Cubase or Beatmaker or something like that. I use, you know, both of those things. Jakob, you and Kai, man, you did something here. This is trouble right here. This is some cool stuff, and I've already used this in a bunch of other beats. And if you want to check out those beats, this beat you can get for free on Bandcamp with a whole 9 other beats. There's 10 beats altogether in Beat Sketches Volume 1. I feel like I'm like a mad scientist when I'm creating these things. Like, they're not necessarily, you know, these projects aren't necessarily, you know, meant to be perfection. This is me being experimental and playing with all the tools I have at my disposal at the moment, you know, and just going at it, you know. So check out Beat Sketches on Bandcamp and keep tuned to the Beat Brothers. You know, I'm a little bit afraid. I'll be honest, I'm a little bit afraid about what Bryce is going to think when he sees this video. Bryce, also known as Upright, he's the better half, maybe, to this Beat Brothers experience that we are doing right now. And, you know, I might have just lost all of my friend cool points if I had any to begin with. But hey, what can I say? I'm just being me. So that being said, I hope you dug the video. I hope you check out Agonizer. I hope you check out Antagonizer on my Bandcamp, and keep tuned to the video. Please subscribe, like, and comment. Let me know what you thought. And have you used Agonizer yet? And what have you done with it? Tell me a little bit about your process and what apps you use. If you use iOS apps and stuff to make music, or do you not do that at all? Do you have your MPC, you're banging it out on an MPC or SP or machine, all this stuff? There's so much cool gear out there. This is just what I've been using. So you know, again, let me know what you think, and we'll talk to you on the next one. Peace out.